Hi everyone, Andal here. Welcome to my first quick draw video. Today I'm going to draw Grim as a Simpsons character. For those who don't know who Grim is, he's the main character of my comic strip Grim Days. You saw him at the very beginning of this video. You can also check him out on Facebook, Instagram, and Webtoon. Links are down in the description. He's just a really simple and cute Grim Reaper. So I thought it would be fun to try drawing him in the Simpson style. So let's get started. I wasn't sure what I should talk about during this video because the ones I've seen from other people, they tell some sort of story or something, and to be honest, when I tried to think of something, my mind went blank. So I asked my friends for ideas. One suggested Fight Club. She was jokingly meaning that I should just narrate the movie to you, but when she said that, it actually reminded me that she and I had actually tried to start a fight club when we were in high school. That sounded like a pretty awesome story to tell, so I am going to tell you about how I tried to start a teenage fight club. This was during our senior year, which was about 2000, 2001. I can't remember if it was the spring or fall semester, and yeah, I know if you're doing the math, you've realized that I am old. Anyways, my friend and I were discussing how most school fights are. She had been in a few fights herself, but they didn't go as expected because she went in expecting a fist fight, and then the other girl would always just grab her hair and yank her head down and then just slap her around until a teacher broke things up. Whereas I, on the other hand, had never been in a fight. Though not from a lack of trying. I had actually tried to start a couple fights, and every time I tried to start one, the people would quite literally run away. I also would try to interfere when people would try to start fights with my friends, and when they were so ready to fight my friend, the moment I stepped up and was like, hey, don't do that, that sort of thing, all of a sudden things would calm down. They'd be like, this has nothing to do with you. So I have since been informed that a lot of people were actually quite scared of me in high school, which blows my mind, because if you knew me, or maybe it's just that I don't know myself, but the person I know is really kind of a softie and a pushover, and like I do crazy things, but I don't, I don't know, I just don't consider myself a scary person. So there we were, both wondering what it was like to be in a real fight, and I'm not sure which one of us suggested it first, but we got it into our heads that it would be cool to get that experience by fighting each other, because then at least we would know that the other person wasn't out to do some serious damage to us, and that if we needed to stop, it would stop, but at the same time, we knew that the other person wouldn't necessarily hold back otherwise. So, we were wanting to know, and, we were idiotic teenagers. So we decided that after school, we would go to the train yard or somewhere else that we knew that there wouldn't be any adults, and just go at it. We were so amped up about it, and that we were like, yes, we are going to do this, we're going to do this today. But since we were still at school, we decided to talk to my friend's boyfriend about it. He wasn't against us doing it, but he suggested, since he was in sports and everything, that we should probably get mouth guards if we were going to do this. And when he brought that up, we were like, yeah, that's probably a good idea, but we don't have mouth guards. So he took us to the sporting goods store, and we were able to find one for my friend, but I have this oddly tiny mouth that even the dentists have a habit of commenting on every time I go to the dentist. I'm supposed to wear a children's mouth guard, and they don't really carry a ton of those, so they were all out. And they told us they wouldn't have them back in till the following Friday. So we had to kind of put our plan to fight on hold until Saturday. Well, in the days leading up, my friend and her boyfriend actually got a little worried that since I hadn't been in a fight at all, that I wouldn't be able to take a punch. Well, I turned it around on them too, because I told them that, I've punched people and made them cry, which probably sounds funny after I said I've never been in a fight, but I would play punch people, or I would jokingly punch people, but apparently I hit a lot harder than I was supposed to, and so when I wasn't trying to hurt people, I was doing some pretty nasty punches, apparently. So to kind of make sure we were all ready to do what we were going to do, we decided that we would each take a turn punching the other without pulling our punches. And since we had gotten ourselves into this pissing match of sorts, we also included my friend's boyfriend punching him and having him punch us. To be honest, I don't remember what it was like having my friend punch me. I'm sure it hurt like any punch hurt, but not enough to actually cause a memory of it. But I do remember her boyfriend punching me. And not because it hurt, because, like, again, I think it probably hurt more than hers, but it doesn't register in my brain as being that painful of an experience. But the force of the punch knocked me on my ass. Like, it just knocked me right over. It probably looked pretty funny for anybody watching it. That, however, was really as far as our fight club got, because we started having scheduling issues after that, where suddenly that Saturday, I can't remember if it was me or my friend first, but one of us had something we had to go to instead, so we had to put it off for another day. And then the other one had something they had to go to, and we had to put it off for another day. And then I think there were a couple times where my friend's boyfriend, who wanted to be there because he'd already been a part of the whole planning process, he had things, so we had to put it off so he could be there. And then it just reached a point where we kind of lost interest in it. So, still to this day, I have not been in a real fight. So, there you go. Hopefully that's the first of many crazy stories I get to share with all of you. And here is the final drawing. It turned out really well. I've never drawn in this style before, even though I used to watch Simpsons all the time growing up. So I was worried it was going to turn out absolutely terrible, that I was going to have to scrap the whole video and start over again. But I actually really like how it turned out, and I think I'm going to offer the final product as one of my tier 2 and higher patron rewards, because I am starting a Patreon, and tier 2 and up will have access to digital wallpapers and phone backgrounds and stuff like that. So I think that this will be a nice addition to those options. So if you want access to the digital file of this design, then please subscribe to my Patreon. I will include a link in the description below, and there are other benefits that I'll be offering people on Patreon as well, so please go and check it out. And if you enjoyed this video, please click the like button below and leave a comment to let me know what you think about this drawing, or about my pathetic attempt at a teenage fight club. And if you would like to see more videos like this, or hear more crazy stories about my life, then please subscribe. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to doing this again. Bye!